Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and share this out with anyone and everyone, and let everyone know what I'm all about. Today we are doing a little story time about my trip to New York City. I went with my mom, and I actually seen some celebrities when I was there. It was probably one of the best trips I've ever been on. It was so awesome. So let's get into the story time about this trip. Sit back, relax, grab some snacks. I have some popcorn here. And I have some soda. So pause the video, grab a little snack, and yeah, enjoy. So I'm going to start off from like the first day that we went. So I remember it like yesterday. It was when I lived on the East Coast. My mom was coming out to visit, and I was like, well, we need to go to New York City. Mind you, it was like probably around November. It was November. Like, well, we need to go to the city together because this would be our first time. It'd be my first time going to New York City. And I was like, I'd love to experience it with my mom. Like, me and her are like best friends if you guys didn't know. Yeah, so we planned out this entire trip. We got this hotel. It was a Hilton Garden Inn Suite, I don't remember. So we knew we had to check in around, the afternoon, around 12 to 2-ish. So what we did is we left pretty early because New York was about 2.5 hours away from where I used to live. So we get closer to the city, and the first thing I see is the Freedom Tower, the World Trade Center. And like, I was just freaking out because New York is like my dream city to go to, and I've always wanted to go. My mom has been like once before, and I was always so jealous. Like, I was so jealous of her that she got to go. So this is like my time. This is like my first ever time going to the city. Sorry if you hear like stuff in the background. It's snowing. There's plows. I don't know what's going on. So my mom was like actually taking a nap. We're at the city, like we're almost here, and like I woke her up. Closer we got, like we were putting on like Alicia Keys, New York, and we were playing like, all of the New York jams, like every single like New York song you could think of. Like I just literally typed in New York. It had like Taylor Swift and Alicia Keys and yeah, everybody. And I was just like super hyped. So we get into the city. I'm just like looking around. Oh, also I'm gonna include pictures in this story time as well of like the things I've seen. So the first day was pretty amazing. Like, we checked into the hotel. Parking was so expensive. If you ever go into New York City, do not bring a car because it is just like ridiculous. Like, we spent like $300 to park for like 12 hours because we just stayed like one night and 2 days. And so we get in the city, park our car. I don't remember if we checked in at this point. I think we did check in. We were like maybe like 5 blocks away from the World Trade Center. Like, we were by Battery Park area. So the first thing we do, we go to Battery Park, and like you just see the water. You see Staten Island. You see the Statue of Liberty. You see the ferry. It was just so beautiful, so peaceful. It was very cold this day, and it was also raining. So it was like, it made it tough to get through this trip because how cold it was, but it was still like a lifetime experience. So after we went to the Battery Park, we went to see the bowl. I don't know if you guys know the picture of the bowl. I'll put it up right now. It's like the bull and the girl, and it is like towards Wall Street, I believe. Yeah, it's like Wall Street area. And it was just packed. There was people everywhere, so you, of course, couldn't see it. Or like get too close to it or take a picture with it because there's just so many people on this like little tiny platform, and then there's just roads all around. And the one thing I noticed about this area, I don't know if it's like uptown New York. I'm thinking it's downtown New York City. The one thing I noticed is how like narrow the streets were and all the skyscrapers that were surrounding. Like, it just didn't feel real. It just felt like a fairy tale. the streets were like so narrow, and then you just have the skyscrapers like everywhere. It was just like surrounding you. It just felt like you're in this Grand Canyon of skyscrapers. So after we saw the bull, we were kind of just like exploring the city, just going around, passed by some of like the most iconic museums and the stock exchange and like all those like huge buildings. We were kind of just like getting lost in the city, just walking wherever we wanted and seeing whatever we wanted to as well. So the first thing we did was we went to Ground Zero 9/11 site, and it was so beautiful, like seeing the waterfalls and the names written on it. It just felt so surreal. Like these were two skyscrapers, like the world's tallest buildings here. Like this is where they were, the Twin Towers. And it just felt so like, it didn't feel real. And it just like, it's just so hard to explain. Like you guys gotta go and like see it yourselves and just like feel it. And just, there's a different kind of energy in that part of the city that I can't like explain. So then of course we wanted to go to the Freedom Tower. We went into the doors for the observation deck. And it was pretty expensive. I want to say it was like $50 or $25 per person, I want to say. And so once you get your tickets, you go in like this, like, it's like this room, and it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a museum kind of thing, and you just walk, and then you get to the elevator doors. Now when I tell you, this elevator was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, and you wouldn't even expect like an elevator, like what? It was so crazy. Like you walk into this elevator, there's screens all around you, and it shows like you like underground, I want to say, like in these screens. It's like floor, ceiling, all around you, literally. Go up, it like takes off underground, and it shows like New York City being built like from like the 1700s, and the farther you go up, it just goes into modern times, and then it shows like the Twin Towers, then it shows the Freedom Tower being built, and then you get to the top, and it's just like you're in this elevator shaft. The doors open, you go out, and it's just like this really dark room. You can't really see what is around you. There's this line that you stand at, and there's like these cool like blocks. It looks like they're all white blocks, but it looks like a city skyline. And all of a sudden, these projectors turn on, and it plays this video on these blocks, and it shows like the city and all the buildings and all that stuff, and it's like changing. It's like super cool. It's so hard to explain, but it's just like these projectors like transforming these blocks, because it looks like, you know, they're changing because of the video. All of a sudden the blocks lift up off the ground and go all the way to the ceiling, and you just see the entire city of New York. It's like Brooklyn, the water. It is so crazy, because like you're just in the dark. I mean, you start off on the ground, you get in an elevator, you go into this dark room, plays this video, and all of a sudden you just see the entire city, and it's just like breathtaking, because you're like, oh my god, like I am in the tallest building in America. Like you really can see like miles out. This day was pretty foggy, so you couldn't really see too far, but it was absolutely breathtaking. After the things like lift up from the ground, those blocks, the door opens, and it's like this 2-story observation deck, and there's like just so much to do. I have so many pictures up there. I'll put them on the screen here right now. But it was just like, you just saw the entire city, and you could clearly see that you were like above every other building in New York. Like it was something I couldn't even like compare. Like I've never experienced something like that, like being so high up, and like it's like 1.7 thousand feet off the ground or something like that. But I think the observation deck is like 1.3 thousand feet off the ground, I want to say. We were on the top floors of the building, because the rest of the building was all mechanical floors. So yeah, like as you see, like we saw the entire city. There was just so much to do. There was like a cafe up there, I want to say. Then they had like these iPads that you could carry around, and like you point it at certain buildings, and it shows you like what the building is, some history behind it. They did like standstill tours of like the building and like showed the city. There was just so much stuff that I didn't know, and all these like facts. Oh my god, I have this popcorn. Are you guys still eating? You guys still have your snacks with you? I gotta put my pepper on this. So after the Freedom Tower, we decided we wanted to go to Chinatown in Little Italy. So we were like, oh, well, let's just go walk there. It's not too far. Mind you, it is freezing cold. Like, it's ridiculously cold. Like, crazy. And we were just like, you know what, we gotta get an Uber. Ubers were super expensive. It was about $20 to go 5 minutes away. We were kind of using the Ubers as, like, last resort. Like, we can't do this anymore. Feet are tired. She's tired. You know? Last resort kind of thing. So we went to Little Italy. It was pretty cool. It wasn't what I really expected. I mean, it was like, you know, November. So there's a lot of, like, Christmassy shops, like, in there. But we did get, like, cannolis, which is my favorite Italian dessert. We also got what is that fruit? Dragon fruit from the Chinese market. I don't know. I just want to try it, so we just tried it there. And so we got one of those, got a cannoli, and we decided we were going to head back to the hotel because it was starting to get, like, pretty late in the day. So we're just like, well, we can just walk it. It's not too far. So we walked all the way from Chinatown down to Battery Park, which is, like, a pretty fair distance. Like, you're going to be walking a minute. You're just, like, trying to find our way. And it was just so magical going through the city. And, like, you saw the sunset. You saw all the buildings. And there's just these, like, little tiny shops and just, like, everywhere. Then we came up by the courthouses where it was, like, Law and Order and stuff was filmed. And, like, all the famous courthouses. I don't know if you know that block. But it's just, like, all courthouses on this block. My mom was in heaven because she's like, oh my god, this is where Law and Order, SVU, and all that. I'm just like, oh my god, okay. No, but it was pretty cool to see. Like, I have seen those courthouses before. Went back to the hotel. At this point, we were just exhausted. Like, we were so tired from walking in the city all day. And just, like, seeing all these amazing places, we were just, like, drained. Like, this was only, like, the first day, like, with, like, 7 hours in, maybe, I want to say. We were just like, should we go to Times Square? I think we should, because it's nighttime. Tomorrow we might not have time. I think we should go to Times Square. So we literally found the train route. Train route took us directly there. At this point, the area we're in was completely dead. Like, it was like a ghost town. There was a few people out here and there in cars. I think it was downtown. Yeah, downtown area was completely dead. So I think everyone goes to uptown. I'm sorry if I'm getting this reversed. I don't really know. I don't really know the, like, terms of, you know, Manhattan. But so we take the train to Times Square. And the first thing you see is just, like, it is so bright. Like, compared to where we just were. Like a completely different world. Like, it was so surreal, like, seeing all of these lights that were just, like, so blinding. Like, we didn't get dropped off directly in Times Square, but all of the buildings are, like, made of glass, so, like, they were reflecting all of the lights everywhere. Like, it was just, this entire area was just bright. Like, that's all I can say. We finally get to Times Square, and it was just, I was just, like, mind blown. Like, it was jam-packed. Like, everyone was down there. Like, all the tourists. I've never seen anything like this. Like, all the billboards, all the shops. There was like a Hershey shop. We saw Planet Hollywood. That's where we ended up eating, actually. And it was breathtaking. It was so breathtaking. It was so cool. Some pictures of the city, Times Square. And after that, we went and ate at Planet Hollywood. They actually had the, like, Homealone, like, the bricks that were being thrown from the building. I don't know what his name is, but the New York one, Homealone. The tools, the props, all there from the movie, which is super cool. I don't know if I have a picture of it, but if I do, I'll place it right now. And I've been to Planet Hollywood a few times. I've been to Planet Hollywood in Florida and California, I want to say. So if you know Planet Hollywood, you know it's just, like, Hollywood. Like, there's, like, movie sets there. There's, like, it's, like, stuff on the ceilings. Stuff literally everywhere. It's jam-packed with stuff. And we got these like cool drinks. There was like cotton candy drinks, and literally this entire drink was made out of like candy. Some cool like glow cups and all that stuff. And you know, Planet Hollywood's not the cheapest, but the food was amazing, absolutely amazing. I wish I got more videos when I was there, but I wasn't a YouTuber at that time, so yeah. This was also about like 2 years ago as well, when I went. So after we left the restaurant, it was about like 1 or 2 a.m. I want to say. And as we were looking outside before we left, it literally looked like the morning in the city. It was that bright. I even have a picture of it. I placed it over here, and it was just like, what? It's 1 or 2 a.m. Like, it is so late, and it literally looks like daytime. And there's cars everywhere. There's people everywhere. It was just wild. So after that, we were just like, we were exhausted at this point. We had to go back to the hotel. So we went to bed. We woke up. The next day, we were actually going to the Macy's Day Parade. So that's where we saw all of these celebrities. The next day was even colder. It was freezing. It was the morning. We woke up super early. It was like 6 or 7 a.m. I want to say. We were exhausted. So we stopped at Starbucks, hit the subway, went all the way down by Central Park. And yeah, we basically waited for this parade to start. It took forever to get started. Like, it just, like, we were freezing. Like, it was just way too cold to even be out there. We had to buy like hats and coats and all that kind of stuff. But the parade was absolutely crazy. Like, I've never seen anything like that, and it's just like a dream happening before your eyes. Like, you're like seeing this on TV, you're watching it, and then you just see it in person, and it's just like, it's breathtaking. It was so unreal seeing these huge, ginormous floats going in between these skyscrapers, and I was just like, what? Is this real life? The celebrities that we seen at the parade was Jimmy Kimmel, whatever the New York guy is. Jimmy Kimmel, or Jimmy Fallon. I don't know. We saw him, we saw Bebe Rexha, we saw JoJo Siwa. She was on one of the floats, which is pretty cool because she's another YouTuber. Okay. And then we saw Andrea Day. J. Cole, I want to say, was there. There was a bunch. I mean, literally, there was floats. Every other float was a celebrity. So it was like a ton of celebrities. Tons everywhere. So after the parade, we went to Central Park. Explored the park a little bit. We also went to Rockefeller Center, which was beautiful. We saw the large Christmas tree. And it's just like, that it reminded me of Homealone. Yeah, the Rockefeller Center was crazy busy. Beautiful place. There's also a observation deck there too. We didn't really go to. Then after the Rockefeller Center, we went to Broadway, and we saw Radio City Music Hall, which was like surreal because that's where like all the big names go, like all the Broadway shows, all that stuff. We went in a couple souvenir shops, got some stuff. I don't know if I still have that here. After we had some of the souvenirs, we were pretty exhausted. Like, we explored Central Park. We only went like halfway through. We saw like some of the ice skating rinks. Oh yeah, and then we went to the Empire State Building, kind of like saw the inside and like explored that a little bit, that area. Yeah. So at this point, we were exhausted. We were like, we need to go back to the car. We found out the bill for the car was about $300 some. Craziness just to park there for like 1 day, I want to say. But at this point, it was getting pretty late. We were stuck in traffic for maybe 2 hours, just stuck in traffic, standing still, not going anywhere. Yeah, that was pretty much the entire New York trip, seeing, those celebrities and exploring the city. And it was unbelievable, honestly. It was the best experience I've ever had, and I would 100% do it again in the summertime. Summertime in the city would be a lot better, because I feel like you'd be shaded by all the buildings. Heat wouldn't be bothering you as much. But yeah, that was my experience and trip in the city. I lost popcorn. I got something to eat and edit. Ooh, I got a bunch of pepper flakes. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys like these kind of videos, let me know in the comments down below. I've been to DC. I have pictures in DC. I have pictures in Philadelphia. I have pictures, yeah. So if you guys want to see those trips, let me know down below. And I love you guys to death. Welcome if you're new here. And yeah, this was a pretty fun video. I really enjoyed it. I really miss New York, so if anyone is in New York, let me know. Can I stay over, please? Yeah, stay tuned for more videos coming soon. Please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I upload next. I need to eat this popcorn to edit, but I love you guys, and I will see you guys very soon for another video. Alright, bye all my corals.